Hey, everybody, welcome back to episode 394 of the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. Dr. Stephen Cabral here, board certified doctor of naturopathy and founder of the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Excited to share with you today's show. And this was actually questions I got about something I do called the Business Breakthrough Day. Now, I literally work with no more than 12 mentees or business breakthrough individuals per year. So most likely we will never be able to go through this here together, but I thought this is about a 3 hour to 4 hour day. 3.5 hours is the average. And I would love to break this entire day down that I do for individuals that I work with, health coaches, integrative health practitioners, and allow you to do this exercise on your own, especially if we are not going to do this together. And so I have the whole outline that I will share with you, but I'm going to take you through it. And what I would want you to do is really play all out, make sure that when you're going through this, it's as if you are working with a mentor or coach at the same time. Hold yourself accountable. Literally set aside 3 hours. If you can, that's the right way to do it. Now, could you do it in about 90 minutes? Yes, but it's rushing it. You want to give yourself this gift, honestly. Like you want to give yourself to say, all right, if I'm listening to this show when the show debuts, I have another half of a year. I've got literally the rest of this year in order to be able to take myself, my potential, my career growth to that next level and set yourself up for the following year as well. So the goal is always growth each quarter and then setting yourself up for the next quarter, That is how we grow. Nobody goes from 0 clients to 100 clients out of the gate unless you've built up this big following online, and just most of us haven't, right? So my goal for you is just like it says, I'm going to give you the whole outline: build, scale, and create a thriving coaching practice. That's what this is all about. Now, what I do is I break this into sections. So I do a little bit of a Q&A document ahead of time. And then when I meet, usually Friday mornings, I'm doing this for 3 hours, typically from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And the way that it works is that I want an individual by the end of that 3 hour period of time, maybe 3.5 hours, to walk away with an entire business plan, an entire strategy, and execution-based document. That is what you will have when you do this on your own as well. So what do I do as someone's coach or mentor? And again, I do this very infrequently. It's once per month. That's all that I do it. And the way that I'm doing it is I am drawing these things out of someone. I'm drawing out their potential. I'm understanding what it is that they really want. Who do they want to serve? And then I'm understanding them. I'm listening to how they speak. I understand the psychology of basically who I believe they'll work best with. And I'm crafting that offer and getting them to help them understand their voice. All right. I want to take you through this all right now. So the first thing that we go through is your business identity and positioning. Again, like I get really excited when I talk about these breakthrough days. And the reason is that it is a gift to give yourself these 3 hours alone on a Wednesday, maybe from 9 to 12 in the morning. Drop the kids off, or you have a couple hours off to yourself, whatever it might be. Or maybe you're working a full-time job now, 40, 50 hours a week. Do it on a Saturday morning. Wake up early. Just do what you need to do, because this is really powerful when done all together, because you get to allow yourself to dream. This is what I want my practice to be. All right, starting right out of the gates with this first one: business identity and positioning. First thing we need is the business name. I go through this all the time. How do you choose a good business name, right? Well, it needs to be memorable, but it needs to also, if people, all they hear is your business name, it needs to do one of two things. One, separate you as to, oh, I can only work with this individual. Or two, tell people what it is that you do, right? So think about it. Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Well, it's something about integrating different forms of health and becoming a practitioner, right? So it's kind of like, that's what it is. And that is then a well-defined business in the name itself. So when you're thinking about your business names, you're going to think about what it is that you do, right? Think about what it is that you do, and then if there's any uniqueness. Now, I oftentimes say putting your name in that's part of it, can be one of the unique attributes, right? So because no one can compete on your name. Just something to think about as well. All right. So first, you're going to come up with your business name. You can pause this. You can do this during your 3-hour day, or you can just write down the outline. Or if you're not able to write all of this down, I'm going to link it up today. I don't want to give you the long link. It's stephencabral.com/business-breakthrough-day. You don't have to remember all that. What we're going to do is we're going to link it up at stephencabral.com. Sorry. We're going to link it up at ihp.coach/394. That's much shorter, right? ihp.coach/394. We'll link then to this page, and then you can just use this outline on your own, honestly. And I want you to. Like, that's the whole goal. You know my long-term goal. I've said this before. It won't happen for about 5 years, but I'm in this for the long term. I am looking to create 10,000 integrative health practitioners that are out there in the world running their own businesses that I literally have nothing to do with. I want to help support you. That's what I want to support you with, but is your own business. And I want you affecting the lives of 100 to 1,000 people per year each. That's the goal. Why? Because then as a larger community, we are then affecting massive change on the scale of 1 million to 10 million people per year, lives changed. And then think about all the people that it affects from there, right? So when I got healthy, how many people benefited from that? Well, it wasn't just me, because I was a kinder individual. And I was then able to help a lot more people, right? But even just my family alone, like probably wouldn't have had my 2 daughters. Maybe, I don't know if I would have got, married or, been happy in the same way if I was that sick, right? With autoimmune issues, Addison's disease, type 2 diabetes, like not a great life. So just think about all the lives changed. I mean, it's over a few years, 100 million people it would affect, right? So that's my goal. But anyway, so business name, then the next is your niche. Okay. Now you might use your niche to help develop your business name. That could be part of it as well. That's why we look at this over a course of 3 hours, because you're not writing in pen. You're journaling. You're writing in pencil. You're using a dry erase board. It's back and forth. It's an iterative based process. You can also do this with a family member that knows you well too, if you want. All right. So develop or just choose your niche selection. I have so many individual podcasts on that, but you need to start with a niche. Unless you have a giant following, the fastest way to grow your practice is telling people, I help this individual, so I help you, right, with this issue by doing this, this, and this. Like that's, you need to call out the people that you can help and be very specific, all right? Lots of shows on that. Client avatar development. Then we want to define exactly who it is within that niche that you help so that you can speak to them in your unique voice. You can speak to them in how you write, in your videos, in interviews, in podcasts, in PDF writings, in whatever it is that you do. But you're going to talk to, you'll talk to a type A CEO executive different than you will talk to an 8-year-old child if they're part of your niche, or the mom of an 8-year-old child. Like, you'll just talk to them differently, right? So you really want to know, so your business name, who it is that you want to help, the problem that you want to solve, right? That's your niche. And then the avatar is the individual of the problem that you're solving. All right. So that's the first part. That should take you, honestly, 45 minutes to an hour. It's not a short process. Right? And it's not that you can't reiterate again in the future, but that's about 45 minutes to an hour. It really is. It's only 20 minutes per whatever it might be. And then for business name, you want to rattle off like 20 or 30 different names. You don't want to just like, let me think. Okay, that's it. No, like there's a whole process to that, And then with niche, you might come up with I just let people talk about, who do you want to help? Who do you like to help? What problems do you like to solve? And they'll usually come down to 5 or 6. And then 2 or 3 of those can easily be bundled into one, because it kind of domino effect. And then I say, all right, well, what's your story? What's your background? Oh, okay. It easily matches up with these 2. And then we'll niche it down to either 1 or 1A, 1B. So it's all of these things, very, very seamless. You can make this happen. All right. The next part, after we've come up with the initial part of basically who we are, what we do, who we serve, that's the first part, right? The second is online presence and client attraction strategy. Now, you might say, I hate social media. Listen, I don't love social media either. I don't. That's the truth. I'm on social media because I like to connect with people. That's why I'm on it. Not because I love it, because I like to connect with other practitioners and clients and people that I can just help. That's the goal. So you now need a social media publishing plan, just the way that it is. Every business has to have one. It's just, again, it's just part of doing business. You might say, well, I never want to be on social media. Okay, here's the issue. And I was talking about this with someone that isn't even in the health-based field. I said, you can do all the in-person networking. You can work on client referrals, but those clients are going to look you up on social media. And if you're not there, kind of strange, right? Because pretty much everybody's on social media. So you don't have to be wild on social media, but you should have some presence. So we go over, what does your publishing plan look like in order to build authority as an expert? You don't need to be the number one expert in the world. You just need to know more than 99 out of 100 other people that you would walk down the street on your particular niche. And I know that you are. No doubt about that, right? There's one person, yes, who probably knows more. That's okay. They can help people and you can help people, right? So that's okay. So then you want to go over what days of the week you're going to post what. And we've got lots of videos on this as well. That's part of once you graduate from IHP level 1, you get this big business course with all the different videos. But you want a publishing schedule and you want to show up. Ideally once a day, right? Ideally once a day you post, but if not, at least 3 times a week for sure. And again, maybe then work more towards once a day. But this doesn't have to be a long time. This is about 30 minutes of your day. And that allows you then to attract more clients into your practice. After you come up with your social media-based publishing plan, you also then want to work on your website and what your website pages will be. I've got lots of podcasts on that as well on ihp.coach, and so you can go through those. But essentially, you want to share with people what you're all about, the services that you provide, of course, who you are helping, your discovery call page on how to get started, and then maybe some of your favorite resources. But you're going to keep it simple, but it still needs to be a professional website. I see, and I don't think it's right, I see a lot of people out there offering to build IHP's websites on very cheap platforms that are not good and they do not convert. They really do not convert. It is a waste of an individual's time and money to have a website that is not professional looking and that is not clean and professional. It hurts people more than honestly it helps them. It'd be better just to go from social media to an application page. Honestly, it would be way better than a lot of the websites that I see that are white writing on light colored backgrounds, pixelated photos, don't populate well on a mobile phone. Over 60% of people view your website on a phone over a desktop. It should be mobile first. All right. And then everything, that's why, again, these websites drive me crazy. And it's not because they drive me crazy because I want our IHPs and I want health practitioners in general, great practitioners, to be successful. And most of these websites are they're never going to convert. They're just, it's unfortunate. I'm just going to put it that way. But every page shouldn't lead to selling a package. It should lead to what? Getting on a call with an individual so that you can listen to them so they feel heard, so that you can share how you could help them, and then you can start the relationship. Remember, coaching, being a health coach, is a lot like any other service-based business. You want to meet the person first. You're developing a relationship, a personal trainer, it's all of those things. So you just want to lead people towards, let's hop on a call. Let's see if this is the right fit. That's basically what you're doing. And you let them know if it's the right fit and how you can help them. All right. After that, we go over, and that usually takes a good 45 minutes to an hour. All right. Each section is about 45 minutes. And then the next one is services, pricing, and revenue growth. So now that you've got your name, who you serve, how you serve them, you've got your social media, how you're going to attract clients, how they're going to go to your website, how they're going to sign up for that free consultation. Then what we want to do is we want to actually go over the next steps in this process. And this is actually where I think it gets really important and makes or breaks a lot of health coaches that I see right now. And I say that because you can actually be really good online and on social media and do a lot of the right things. But then what happens is you're not able to convert the clients. And so I want to go over that right now. All right. So the services, pricing, and revenue growth. So you want to go over what you offer. One of the ways that people go wrong is they offer 15 different services. How is it you can't decide? You say, well, all I want to do is get rid of my bloating or gas. All I want to do is get rid of my Hashimoto's. All I want to do is get rid of my migraines. They don't need 15 offerings for that. They need probably 2 different offers. One is the basic one, which is 1 consultation per month, and then a la carte labs. The other one is more of the concierge, which is done for you. It includes your labs, it includes maybe a few other things, and it's all in one price. You give some very, very simple. Very, very simple. When I first started out, all I ever had was I do 4 months of health coaching, wellness coaching. I started at $180 per month. Then it went to $290, then it went to $490, and then it went up from there. And that's it. And then when I did their first official consultation, then I gave recommendations on their lab testing of what labs I felt were most appropriate. And then after they completed the labs, before that next visit, they would do usually 1 or 2 different things, a sleep protocol, a functional medicine detox, et cetera. And we still basically do that to this day. That's literally what we do. And so that's it. I recommend most health coaches charge $290 per month. It's been, many years, over 15 years since I first started charging that. And when I was doing personal training 25 plus years ago, it was even less. But the times change, and your value is a little bit higher, I believe, especially if you're doing functional medicine at home lab testing. So you're going to come up with your basic services for your niche, so it's very clean. And you're going to come up with the specific pricing strategies. If you're going to include a lab, great, you can do that as well. We teach that again on lots of other shows and podcasts as well. And then if you have a niche, this is where you can customize that package for your niche. So that's why you need to start with your niche. Who do you serve? How do you help them? All right. The next part is the fourth and final part, and that is on operational efficiencies and automations. So why does this matter? Well, the first 3 sections get you to build a practice, and a successful one, like really successful one. Remember, keep in mind, I like using health coach and health practitioner math. If you are charging $290 a month, I'll just use $300 for easy math, and you work with 2 clients a day, that is 10 clients a week, and it's 40 clients a month. Okay, that is $12,000 a month, which is about $150,000 or so a year. You can make really great money. You might say, well, I want to work with 1 client a day, or I might only work 2 days a week. Okay, let's just say it's half that. So you're making $75,000 with 1 appointment a day, or 5 total appointments per week and 20 clients per month. You're going to be able to achieve that. You literally are. There's no doubt about that. Okay. And then of course you can earn, money by offering some of your favorite resources and those types of things, of course, always doing it ethically. So you're going to make that happen. But eventually, once you start seeing more and more people in your practice, it's not necessarily about always making more and more money. It's about helping more and more people. But then you don't want all the headaches that come along with that. So what you want then is to create all of your automations. And if you're already thinking about that ahead of time, it makes life so much easier. So we talk about, what is your online scheduling going to look like? Back in my day, literally, I was emailing people. These are the times that I have this week. And I'd email it out to a bunch of different people, and 5 would get back, and then someone would email an hour later, and the time was already taken. So I'd have to get back to them. Disaster. And you never want to do that because it leads to too much friction for your clients, right? And so online booking management, we go over all the different best practices there. You're able to set that up yourself as well. Then you're going to write your email templates. Literally write, this is what it's going to say when an individual signs up for the discovery call. Email automatically goes out. This is what happens the day of their consultation. A reminder gets sent out to them. Great. It already includes a Zoom link or, Equalife Lab Portal link, however you want to do it. And then after you have their consultation with them, you're going to send them maybe an invoice if you don't take that payment over the phone. And that's going to be for 3 months of $290. And then they can decide to continue on after that or not. So that's how you're going to do it. All of that should be automated though. You don't need to send that every single time. That takes time out of your day. It takes time away from your family, right? It takes time away from your clients as well. And the last part is, now that we've done the work, so I do this in reverse. Instead of dreaming of the ideal day, I like to say, you're going to make this happen. It's inevitable. You've just done so much of the work. Now let's work backwards. What now is your ideal day? What does that look like? Let's make that happen, and let's actually dreamline out the amount of income you can earn, how many clients you will be helping, what this looks like for social media. So we already know that, and we've got all the structure in place, and it gets you excited. You leave your day saying, wow, I really can make this happen between 9 and 2 every day, 9 and 12 every day, 10 and 2 every day. Whatever your structure looks like, you can make it happen. And it's amazing because you can earn the personal freedom that you're looking for while doing a lot of good in this world, helping a whole lot of people. So hopefully this was helpful here today. I know it was just the outline, but each one of these, if you look at it as 45 minutes, hour and a half, you've got 3 hours. So it's basically a 3-hour session that I can't recommend enough. Yes, you could break it up into 45-minute blocks, but what happens is you lose the momentum. You really want to build the energy. You want to be journaling the whole time. You want to be writing these things things down, mapping the whole thing out on a whiteboard, whatever works for you. So like I said, hopefully this was helpful. I'm always happy to answer additional questions. If this maybe spawned or spurred additional podcast topics, let us know if you'd like me to chat about these, and I'll certainly do that. And again, I only offer one of these a month, but if you're ever interested, you can apply just at stephencabral.com/business-breakthrough-day, or probably easier, as I said previously, just head on over to ihp.coach/394. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. And of course, always feel free to share this show with any colleagues you believe it could serve. Take care.